Now, what's this I hear about an internet? An internet uncapped. I don't know. Let me see what I'm fucking looking at here. I don't know what we're doing. Let's see. Let me figure this out. All right. So, hello, everyone. Now, you may not know who I am, what I'm about, but I am here for one reason and one reason only, and that is I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Now, you may not know why I'm here to do that. Right now, if I can make this thing, trying to share the goddamn screen, it's not cooperating with me. However,
if
for
you want
those
me
of
to
you,
share it,
okay.
send
I
it.
got
Send
it.
it in
No,
the.
I have it.
Send it in the private chat, and I'll share the screen.
All right, I can send it. Okay. All right. Well, as we are, kicking ass and chewing bubblegum. This is Internet Uncapped. I am your host, Evan. I am dressed as Rowdy Roddy Piper from the iconic 1988 They Live. I have my plaid. I have my shades that can see through all sorts of corporate bullshit and control and all that jazz. Today, we are going to do a recap of the big main event in April for wrestling, and that is Wrestlemania. Now, I think he's pulling it up.
It's already up.
There he is. There he is. Not quite the same pattern, but definitely the same,
Color
idea. Color scheme, whatever, what have you. I've come and I got the cuffs. I'm ready to chew bubblegum, kick ass. We're all out of bubblegum. So without any further delay, let's really we're gonna do on night one, which is what I mostly saw, and we're gonna do night two. Mitchell saw both nights. I only saw the first night and the last match, the main event of WrestleMania and of night two, which was Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. But let's kick this off, Mitchell. Before we really get into it, I have a few complaints that we've got to get out of the way right off the bat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is my first WrestleMania that I have watched. And to my knowledge, this is the most successful, highly rated WrestleMania of all time. It was a huge success. No small part to the amount of social media that pushed this thing, the amount of television advertisements that pushed this thing, the amount of attention given all the different storylines, John Cena, of course, the main triple match with CM Punk. We'll get into him in a minute. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, of course, Jey Uso winning Royal Rumble, his match, which is where we're about to begin very soon. So no small part to what they were able to build and what they were able to do over the course of 4.5 hours. Really impressive effort. But that's one thing. Now, the other thing is that this is my very first WrestleMania. And because of that, I was not used to seeing ginormous cutouts of baby heads and pug heads. And every goddamn time they came on the screen, I'm just yelling at the screen going like, get rid of those goddamn baby heads. Get them out of here. Because I was not used to that. And now I was like, Mitchell, why are there baby heads on my screen? He goes, well, they're probably just being silly. I'm like, no, Mitchell, that can't be the only reason why I'm seeing baby heads. But apparently it was.
And it was.
That
was the reason.
That if we are going to have another one, I don't know what the reason was. I'm just saying if we're gonna have another WrestleMania next year. I want to ban all baby heads until further notice. We're not doing that
Fuck
in New
you.
Orleans anymore. We had that in Las Vegas. We're not doing that in New Orleans. Shut
Fuck
it
you.
down.
Fuck you.
We're not doing baby heads. Okay.
I hope
So
everyone
we're
does it.
going to begin now. We're going to go through each of the different matches and each of our thoughts. I've said my piece for now. I do got thoughts, but this is now the Jey Uso versus Gunther event. Mitchell, what did you think about the very opening first match?
First things first, I hope everyone shows up with a baby head. Because why not?
God,
You're welcome. I think it's lit. I love it. Also, shout out to my background. Shout out to Kevin Garnett.
yeah, there he is with those eyes, very intense eyes. He was on the Timberwolves for a bit. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyways, as I was saying, yeah. So Jey Uso versus Gunther. This match, I had Jey Uso winning, and that's where I want to start things off. Jay, he's so over with the crowd. He has a lot of botches in the ring where he does mess up too much. And he does like slip, and again, they're botches. That's what they're called. He has too many moments where he makes mistakes where he shouldn't be making mistakes. It's unfortunate, but I mean, he's not. I don't think he's the worst guy to win a championship. And he is over with the fans. I'll say that they love him. They love to yeet. Um, they love that stuff. I love the eating too. I love when he does that. And I think that it was a good match. Definitely not the best match of the night, and definitely not the best match of this WrestleMania. But I think it was definitely one of the slower matches. I'll say, but it's the first match, and the first match is not. You don't. These guys are both professionals, Gunther and Jey Uso. They've been around the industry for a long time, so they know, excuse me, that they're supposed to put on a great match, but they know that they're also not supposed to steal the show. It's very selfish if you go ahead and you know that you're going to be having a match, and then you go out there and you steal the show. I feel like it is. I feel like if you're the main event, you should be the best act. That's why you're the main event. I don't think it's bad if you steal the show. Like, I don't want to sound like an idiot. If they put on the best match of the night, and kudos to them. But these are guys that they know how to work the crowd, and that's what they were doing. They were working the crowd. They were taking their time, making it a nice slow match, and it was a great opening match. I'll say that it was a great opening match. I loved it.
Okay. That's very interesting, and it definitely gives a lot of perspective. Again, I am very new to this, and I had some friends over. Mitchell, I invited you, but I will not disclose what happened. But it was not a good night for you, so we'll leave it
Yep.
at that. But I saw this match, and this was my first WrestleMania. I'll keep saying this throughout the episode. It was a slow match. It was a slow match, and it was definitely slower compared to the matches that I saw during Royal Rumble. So that was a little different for me. I will say that Jey Uso, he did a really good job. Like, you got to give him a lot of credit. He won Royal Rumble. He's out there being the very first match out of the gate. There's a lot of pressure, but on TV, I just don't think it played. I mean, we'll get into this a little more as we go along. I just felt that the WrestleMania, as compared to Royal Rumble, WrestleMania was, to me, it was more of a live event in the like in real life live event that happened to be televised, as opposed to Royal Rumble, which felt more like a really tightly staged, very well choreographed, very well timed thing for television. right? So there are very key differences in terms of the styles between the two. And I think maybe I was caught off guard because the speed of WrestleMania was different and the way that it presented itself was different as opposed to how Royal Rumble was presented. I gotta tell you, there was too much butt stuff in this match.
Please describe
I
what
don't
was
know what we're
butt
doing
stuff.
here. Maybe it's just what wrestling is.
What
There's way too much butt
what was
stuff.
butt stuff?
Did you see when he flipped him over and then he banged him and it was I don't know. I'm not gonna get too graphic on here, but it was a lot to take in, Mitchell. I'll just say that much.
Too
Too
much.
many ass quakes is another thing that I noted here.
Next
Way
time,
too many
next
ass
time,
quakes
next time,
for my taste.
I need video evidence next time of ass quakes.
Yes. Yeah. No. We'll when we get our act together in the future, we will definitely do that. But there was a ton. Oh my God, Mitchell, the butts were flying in this first match, and it was a little nuts. It was a little crazy. But that's just how I see it. Overall, the match I think could have been better with another opponent. Jey Uso did a great job. Gunther was very slow.
Yep.
I would say it was, it was good. It was good, but it did get better, certainly. And up next, we are going to talk about the double team match.
Tag team.
God, I did not put, yeah, the names of the teams. It was like
The War
the
Raiders.
New Way, who are these two black guys,
The
and then there
New
were these other
Day. The
guys, and they were
New
white, and they
Day.
looked
The
like
New
Vikings.
Day.
The New Day, the New Day. Yeah, the New Day. They were cool. They were really cool.
So
And the other guys were cool too.
yes. So before
so anyway, go ahead.
before you keep botching it, okay, Evan, I'm gonna here comes my savant. So it was
I'm not botching it.
you botched it. You botched it, you son of a bitch.
Congratulations, you played yourself. Anyway.
Yeah, congratulations. You played yourself. Yeah, so it was a tag team match. And it was excuse me. It was against oh my god, that was crazy. So it was the New Day versus the Viking Raiders. And it was for the tag team championship belts.
Because they did look like Vikings.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they go by. They're the War Raiders. They used to be the Viking Raiders. Now they're the War Raiders. And it's Eric and Ivar.
Got it.
Eric and Ivar. You have the New Day with Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. I'm not joking. They used to sell cereal. It was called Bootios. And they make sure that you're not booty, Evan. Okay, Bootios. So yeah, they were competing for the World Tag Team Championship belts, and yeah, I mean this one you put in the notes here. You put way more impressive. Big fat guy doing cartwheels. He is a baller.
He
I love
was
that.
amazing. Dude, he was cartwheeling the fuck out of the stage. He was a baller. I thought he did a fantastic job. And when New Day, New Day won, and they were these guys. Both of them, both teams were showmans. They got their act together. They were high intensity. They really put on a great show, not just for the ring, but for television. These guys did such an excellent job choreographing, choreographing, fighting, whatever you want to call it, right? But and they ran, and the New Day, they ran away with their belt like they stole something. Like they were like, ah, like it was so good. It was like,
they're playing
fight. It was so good.
Yeah, they're playing typical heels. They're playing typical heels or bad guys who just don't want the business from the War Raiders. And I'll say this: I got to give a shout out to the War Raiders. I think they first showed up in NXT. I want to say it was 2016, 2017. And when they first showed up to NXT, they actually went under the name. I think they were the Viking Raiders. That's why I said that first. Then they got promoted to the main roster. And then Vince McMahon was like, "Oh yeah, you guys are gonna be great. We're gonna call you the Viking Experience. It's gonna be great. They're gonna love it."
Oh no.
And I remember when he changed them to the Viking Experience. I'm like, that sounds like a ride at Disney. What the fuck? What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go to the Guardians of the Galaxy. After that, I'm going to the Viking Experience. I'm like, Vince, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, like come on,
It was just dumb.
Vince.
Absolutely
You're
dumb.
good at marketing, but you're not that good at marketing.
Yeah, so
Dumb.
I felt
Stupid.
really bad for them
Totally.
because I feel like sometimes, especially in this day and age with the way that WWE is set up, they have, the developmental brands. You have Evolve, and then you have NXT, then you have SmackDown and Raw. Those are the big name
Mhm.
brands, and the whole thing is you're supposed to go ahead, make a name for yourself on Evolve and NXT, and then you kind of build a following with a certain name, a certain brand, and a certain style of wrestling. And then once you get to the next level, which is SmackDown and Raw, you built that fan base around what you can do. And there's some people that just watch just SmackDown, just watch just Raw. There's some people that don't watch NXT or Evolve.
Sure.
So you're going to a new audience where first impressions are everything. And what's your first impression? Oh, they're the Viking
Yes.
Experience. It's fucking stupid. Like, and
No.
and again, like you spend your time building this brand, trying to make yourself look a certain way as you're wrestling,
Yeah.
and then Vince just goes, "We're gonna call you the Viking Experience." Like, and so for them,
It's like no.
even though they
Give him a
lost,
better name, Vince. Come on.
well, it's not just that, but even though they lost, I'm proud of the War Raiders for going ahead and to be in WrestleMania and to have a match with the title on the line. I that's to me,
Yes.
for night one, for those matches that is excluding the main event. I think this is the better match, one of the better matches out there, for the simple fact that I'm proud of those guys for getting
I
out
agree.
of the gutter per se and getting back to where they once
Yes.
were because of all that nonsense. And one of them, I believe it's Eric, if I remember correctly. Um,
Hmm.
I think he had a bunch of neck issues too. So he actually at one
Oh
point
wow. I
wasn't.
wouldn't have known.
Yeah, yeah. So I just googled it real quick. So it was a motorcycle accident,
Hmm.
and he had a neck fusion surgery. That's what it says here. Um, and he didn't know if he was going to be able to wrestle again.
Wow.
So for him to also come back and be in that situation, hey man, you know, stay safe, God bless, and keep doing you, man. Like, I respect him for it.
Absolutely. I am total agreement with you, but yeah, no, both to me it was both people, both groups, they gave it their all. And I would not
Mhm.
expect anything less, but they both put on such an amazing match. Yeah, it wasn't the best match of the night. I agree with that, but it was absolutely one of the best ones of the night. And it was very memorable, and I just thought it was fantastic. So moving on to the women's match, Naomi versus Jade. Boy, oh boy. Now, here's the thing about this one. These women know how to fight. Like they are doing the doing the do. They're really giving it their all. Like the first match with Jey Uso and Gunther, there were just certain things that they were doing that were a little repetitive, and this still had a little bit of repetitiveness, but it was not nearly as much as the opener. So I give them a lot of credit, even when there were times where some of the engagement with that fight was, it was a little wobbly at times, but they really just gave it. Like I said, it's the difference between presenting as a live match in the room and presenting as a television event. That really is the big difference. It's a stylistic thing. It's a presentation thing. So I give them a lot of credit, even if they had to do that, even if they had to be a little repetitive. Even if it presented like that on TV, it probably looked better if you actually were in Las Vegas in that crowd, seeing it as it's happening live. But I thought that was a really good match. Mitch, I don't know if you have any thoughts about Naomi versus Jade, but I did like it.
Yeah, so I want to focus a lot on Naomi. Um, Naomi has been around
Yeah.
for a very long time in the industry. When she first showed up, she showed up in the Divas era, which the Divas era of women's wrestling is the worst. I will go ahead and say that hands down. It is the worst era of women's professional wrestling. Um, for the simple fact that the women were used more so as eye candy. Um, that's all that they were. They weren't really viewed as wrestlers, and if they had a match, it was a filler match, and the storylines, nothing really went anywhere. It was just all about sex appeal. She came near the end of that era, though, and then it became an era where a lot of these women were actual wrestlers. Um, and Naomi, not trying to say that she wasn't an actual wrestler. I'm not trying to discredit her, but she was in a situation where she had people that were from the indies or the independent scene who have been doing this for so long, and she was brought in as someone who was extremely athletic who had to learn the business, and to see her growth over the years, she has gotten better. She has gotten better with age. And now with someone like Jade, who is still very new to the business, Naomi really put her over, made her look strong, and was able to, I would say, help carry her throughout this match. I think Naomi is as a better wrestler than I think people give her credit for, and I think that WWE is truly blessed to have her within their company. And I think going forward, I think going forward, she is like a veteran now of that locker room. And she's a consistent veteran in that locker room, similar to Natalia, where you don't need to have the belt on her, but she is a cornerstone of that division. I look at her, I think she's a cornerstone of that division. Natalia, cornerstone of that division. Bailey, cornerstone of that division. And if I had to pick one more as a cornerstone of the division, I'd probably say Rhea Ripley. Those four are the cornerstones of the women's division right now because they're full time. They're some of the most recognizable people, and you can guarantee that if they're in a match, they're gonna be the best. And I throw as an honorable mention Liv Morgan in there too. Liv Morgan's great. And I think that, again, the women's division is doing so good. And Naomi, to be someone who I remember, she was part of the Funkadactyls. And I'm not joking, Evan, that she was with this guy named, what was his name? I can't, I remember she was with Cameron. It was Cameron, and I can't think of the guy's name now. I know he's on the independent scene. He goes by Tyrus. I gotta search it up.
I can find it. Yeah,
Funkadactyls.
I'll search it up.
I already got it here. The Funkadactyls, and it was
Oh, you got it. Wow, you're fast.
Thank you, okay. Tyrus Brodus Clay. That was his name.
Naomi was really good. I agree with you.
Brodus Clay in WWE, but now he goes by Tyrus. I knew his name outside, but it was Brodus Clay, and they used to be his cheerleaders that used to walk with him and they used to dance with him, and to see her go from that to be someone that has won a match in her hometown of Orlando and win the women's there was a SmackDown Women's Championship, and to now be in Royal Rumble, not the Royal Rumble, the WrestleMania again, having another match. Great for her, man. I respect Naomi. She's definitely up there in my top 10 female wrestlers of all time. She's up there. Respect the work that she's done, and I know that she's going to be doing this for a little while now, or a little while longer. And I look forward to seeing some of the great performances that she has left in her career.
And she was at Royal Rumble, right? Because I'm pretty sure we saw her kicking some ass like during the women's, right?
What, the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, Royal Rumble when she was in the women's, right? Naomi was there.
Yeah, yeah, she was kicking some ass during it. I mean, again, she's a great performer all around, and Yeah, she's everything
Yeah.
that she's in. She does a great job. But yeah, she was in the Royal Rumble. She was kicking some ass. She was kicking ass with Bianca Belair. They were wearing the same color.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally. I was impressed with her at Royal Rumble. That was my first exposure to Naomi. I thought this match was really good, especially for her. She didn't win. I think it was Jade, if I remember correctly, who won.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Jade
pretty
won.
sure it was the
Jade
other one.
won match.
Well,
Yeah.
Jade won. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I remembered was that Jade won. So, but in any case, she gave it her all. Jade was deserving winner overall. Um, but yeah, it was a very good think. I personally thought this match was better than the Jey Uso versus Gunther, just based on how it came out, how the presentation was, faster paced, all of that. Um, cause it's like I just was surprised because it again, just watching it on TV, there were so many moves and so many things and ways that things were kind of happening that just felt too predictable. And even though the athleticism, obviously the athleticism is spot on, like the athleticism is off the charts, but it didn't. I just like, even though this is the highest rated, most successful Mania of all time, and that's fantastic. I still felt, even for me as someone who is a casual, as someone who really isn't a super fan, I just felt there was something missing in terms of the overall engagement that they could have done for some of those matches. Not all of them, but some of them. But in any case, enough of that. We are now gonna wrap up night one before we go into night two with the match of that night, which was like the ultimate ginormous epic saga culminating in years and years of history between these three, and also one other guy in particular who we'll get into in a second. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Now, before we really get into these three, they all had their introductions. They all, were pretty good. CM Punk had something that I genuinely did not anticipate to happen. Mitchell, did you know that there is a band? They are considered one of the first uh, black heavy metal bands. They are called Living Color.
Yeah, that's
CM
yes.
Punk
Yeah,
goes
that's been
out
his song.
to the song, their signature song, Cult of Personality, and oh, by the way, they are playing live in the arena. Like, that is so cool.
That's
Like
been his
that he did that, and that he had them out there doing the shit.
that's been his theme song since I want to
That's
say like
his theme.
2012, 11 or 12.
Incredible. The fact that he brought them out for his signature song to play live, and especially for a three-way match between two other very high-profile wrestlers, I give that an A+. That is such amazing showmanship all around. And to include a Living Color is just, that's fantastic. So this is all has to do with the fact that Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. What is the one thing that these guys have in common? Paul Heyman, who was with each of them as their exclusive promoter, they all worked with him.
No,
And
not Seth.
he
Not Seth.
is with,
Not Seth.
no, not Seth. Oh, but Roman Reigns and CM Punk, right?
Yeah,
Am I
so
am I wrong?
he did work with CM Punk. He worked
Pretty
with
sure it was
CM
both.
Punk. He worked with CM Punk back in the day, like 2011, 2012,
Yeah.
2013, when he had the belt for over 400 days.
Right.
Then recently he's been working with Roman Reigns while he had the belt for over like 2,000 days or whatever the hell it was. Like it felt like the dude had the belt forever. Um, it was over 1,000 days, not 2,000, but you know what I'm saying. But for Seth, he never worked with Seth. Never worked with Seth, but spoiler alert.
Never worked with Seth. But spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman, they have the fight. They get into their shit. CM and Roman Reigns get into their shit. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns get into their shit. CM Punk and Seth Rollins get into their shit. They're on the floor. Things are just getting crazy. And then Paul Heyman decides, I'm going to like get up there on the ring and I'm going to fuck shit up. Well, what does he do? Well, in the most Greek tragedy of ways that I've seen, he punches CM Punk in the nuts from the back.
After
like
giving him a chair.
After giving him a chair, right? And then he goes to Roman Reigns and he goes, "Oh, my tribal chief, please!" And then he punches him in the dick from the back, and he literally gives the win to Seth Rollins in one of the most like confusing but epic like matches that I've seen. Again, I'm very new to wrestling. However, seeing that was pretty incredible. And again, I'm sure that it's even richer knowing the history behind all three of them and the dynamics of each of them and all of that. But as a normie, just seeing it happen with what little info I had, it was like, oh wow, this is quite something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, a lot of history with that match. You know, with Paul Heyman, you know, CM Punk, and honestly, a lot of history with CM Punk and Rollins and Reigns. He in an interview when he left WWE in 2014, 2015, I believe, he went onto his buddy's podcast, Colt Cabana. And when he went onto his podcast, he said that like, oh yeah, like I quit. I couldn't do it no more. Like I was in pain. I was dealing with this. I was dealing with that. And he talked about how he asked Vince to have guys from NXT come up and help him win matches while he was the champion. And they were called the Shield. And it was Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose no longer with WWE. He's in AEW as John Moxley. But yeah, they went ahead and they were helping him win his matches. That was their whole gimmick. The lights would go out and they would just triple power bomb people, and then CM Punk would beat him up and then retain his belt. And yeah, so to know all the history behind that and to have this moment, it was absolutely incredible, and it was a great match nonetheless. So I loved what I saw, and I'm glad that what happened. Again, great match. Was not expecting that ending. I was not when he first gave the chair to CM Punk. I was like, oh, he's gonna betray. I thought Paul Heyman was gonna betray him, and then he did, and I was like, oh, okay, Roman's gonna get his chance to hit Seth now with the chair. And that's the thing people have been waiting for years, because Rollins betrayed Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose by hitting Roman in the back with a chair. And I was like, this is his moment. This is building towards that chair smack. And then he got hit, and I was like, no way. So, excuse me.
Yeah, it was. And I loved the,
Yeah. And then
so dramatic. That's not how you punch someone in the nuts, but you know what? We'll just accept it. We'll accept it.
Yeah. And then after that, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fathom it. I was like, this is absolutely crazy. I did not expect that. So WWE got me. They got me good with that. But overall, the first night
they did. Yeah, I didn't expect it either. I just thought it was gonna be a pretty straightforward match, and then no, Paul Heyman's like all up in there. He's the one. It's like, oh wow, okay, it was up. Yeah. Otherwise it was not as engaging. All the fights weren't as engaging as I would have liked. And then the last match happened. I'm like, oh, shit's going down. It's actually happening.
Yeah, it's blowing up.
Okay, let's see what happens. Blowing up. Yeah, really.
Yeah,
So
and
that is,
that was night one.
yeah. Anyway, night one.
So
That was night one. Now I did not see night two. I did see the last match. I did see John Cena and Cody Rhodes, but for the most part, did not see these other matches. So I will follow along with you, Mitchell. I will comment where I do, but I really did not see a single one of these matches. So I don't know what happened, but I'm sure you will have a lot to say about them.
yeah, so first match of night two. Uh, personally, I thought this match and the third match, which we're gonna discuss in a second, I thought these were the two best matches of the night. First match, it was Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley, triple threat women's championship match.
Wow.
So many good spots, Evan. So many good spots where you have Bianca Belair. She has a Rhea Ripley in a submission hold. She's trying to win
Oh,
the
wow.
match. Io Sky comes in, bam, somersault, doing all of her moves and doing her crazy thing where she points at herself. She goes, yeah, and she goes nuts. Io Sky, I can't say enough good things about Io Sky. I think ever since she's joined the WWE, working her way up from NXT, working her way up, and just doing working the different factions and the different groups that she's been in. She's one of the most underrated wrestlers, and there's times where I feel like she doesn't. Yeah, she's won the Royal Rumble. Yeah, she's had the belt, but there's times where I feel like she has the belt, and no one talks about how she has the belt, and it's disappointing. And yeah, she's in a women's division right now that has so many talented women, and I'm gonna mention all the other women that were in WrestleMania. So in night one of WrestleMania, which we didn't talk about El Grande Americano and Ray Phoenix or Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. We didn't talk about that in night one.
No.
Yeah, but
Oh, no. I guess I don't know why I didn't note that, but yeah.
well,
There was some Hall of Fame stuff too, but I didn't think that was worth
yeah,
mentioning
we'll mention
on my
we'll
end.
come back to those in a second. But you have Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, that they were
Yeah,
in night one. Jade Cargill, Naomi,
sure.
they were in night one. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea
Mhm.
Ripley. Then you had Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, all those names right there, those are all women wrestlers who are just some of the best. And it was supposed to be Lyra
Yeah.
Valkyria and Bailey, but Becky Lynch came in because Bailey got attacked behind the scenes. And even if Bailey was in that spot, Bailey to me Bailey's the best wrestler, best female wrestler. I stand on that hill. I will
Mhm.
die on that hill. I think what Tom Brady is to quarterbacks, that's what Bailey is to women's wrestling. She wouldn't like that because she's a 49ers fan,
Wow.
but she can deal with it. Um, I'm saying that like I'm insulting her, but like it's like a compliment, but like again, she would take it as an insult because she's a Niners fan. So yeah, she could take that, Bailey. Take that compliment.
When the 49ers win a Super Bowl, I
Yeah,
mean, she can claim it, but in the meantime,
yeah, exactly. You're the Tom Brady of women's wrestling, Bailey. Suck on that. All right, but again, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. It had so many great spots, and for Io Sky
Mhm.
to get the win, I was worried that she wasn't going to win. I was worried that they were going to give the belt back to Rhea Ripley. I genuinely believe so, and I also thought that Bianca Belair was going to turn heel during the
Mhm.
match and do something after. But for her to just win,
Ooh.
nothing happened, and
Mhm.
she got her WrestleMania moment. I was genuinely happy about that. I was like, that's awesome. Let her get her moment and
Okay.
just move on from that. Um, Match number two. I think before we do that, let's talk about those two other matches. Because three other matches because it was Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. We didn't talk about that one either.
Okay. Yeah.
So
There were a bunch of other matches, but for I just kind of skipped them. But yeah, yeah.
you
Go
just
ahead.
skipped them, Evan. You can't skip.
I did. There wasn't much to say about them. I'm like, okay.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
like,
You don't like L.A. Knight? Yeah. No, I just
Yeah.
I'll do
Dummy. Yeah.
yeah. I'll just do it real quick. So LA Knight, yeah, versus Jacob Fatu. I thought it was a good match. Jacob Fatu, I think he's going to be a superstar. I think he has to pave the way a little bit. LA Knight, I think he's always going to be that high mid Carter, low top Carter. But he's 40. I think he's 43 or 44 years old. So I mean, yeah, he'll have the world championship, but he's not going to have it for too long. But he's okay with that. LA Knight understands where he's at. He's a great performer. He's awesome on the mic. Love what he can do. Yeah, and I think he should just keep on keeping on. He's doing his thing. Next match, El Grande Americano versus
just keep doing what you're doing.
Ray Phoenix. I love the El Grande Americano thing. It's so funny.
Oh, that was the luchadors,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Silencio! I love it.
Oh yeah. Why didn't I? That one I would have noted. If I had remembered, I would have noted that. That was a weird one. But it was good. It was good. What was interesting about that one was they were like on the ground.
Yeah.
And then at one point they like synchronized their body movements, and then they went wee. And like they were just like, and it was like, what is that going on? Like, what kind of voodoo nonsense is happening with them?
Yeah, no.
But I'm sure that was like, Mexican moves that they did at luchadors and all that. Lucha Libre, rather.
Yeah, luchador.
But it was cool. It was really cool.
If you ever watch luchador wrestling, it's more acrobatic, and the way that they wrestle is different.
Yeah,
different places around the world tend to wrestle differently. Like if you watch Japanese wrestling, it's more stiff. Like they actually kick the shit out of each other.
Yeah, sure.
And they do like they're either more super stiff or they do more crazier things. Let me actually pull up a clip. It's one of my favorite
pull up a clip. He's shown me this clip, and I was like, "What? This is awesome!" But like, I'm not surprised because it's the Japanese. Like, hello.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite freaking wrestling clips ever. Like it's so random, but it's just so fun at the same time. There we go. Full screen it. There we go. Yeah.
And they just keep coming, and it's like we don't know what to do. He's got a gun.
And he starts doing it to the fans, and the fans.
It's so creative, and again, you can't beat the Japanese. They really are very, very creative when it comes to this stuff. Stiff, I could see, but totally creative at the same time.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love that clip. You've shown me that clip a few times before, but it never gets old.
Yeah, no, it's all nonsense. It's fun, comical nonsense. Yeah, again, it's all crazy nonsense. But but El Grande Americano, very Phoenix. It's a fun little thing they have going on right now where Chad Gable is clearly El Grande Americano. They keep hinting at it, and he's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's not me, man. I'm not El Grande Americano." But yeah, he's doing the shoosh, but he says Silencio. That, oh my god. And they say that he's from the Gulf of America. I was dying when they said that.
And yes, they did. And what was really funny was that the announcers were like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's not from the Gulf of America. I'm pretty sure the last we knew, it was the Gulf of Mexico. So I don't know what she's talking about. So they were just smack talking the ring announcer.
Yeah,
but it was so cool because like it was a little bit of politics, just a little bit, but it wasn't too loaded where it would have like put off people. It was just like something that was like current events, and so I like that. That was a really good moment. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then the last match of the before the triple threat match that we already talked about, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I thought this was a stiff match.
Yeah.
I thought that I thought this was
Yes.
I thought this was a weird one just because of the simple fact that there was actual backstage heat between them, where Tiffany Stratton on live television mentioned Charlotte's divorces. Charlotte didn't take too kindly to that. I respect Tiffany Stratton for doing that. Big ups to her. And I think Charlotte has this overinflated ego where she feels like she can only come back if she's going to be in the title picture. And I don't. I understand that she has the Flair name. I understand that she's, won the belt so many times, but her reigns as the champion they haven't meant shit. That's my personal feeling on the matter. She has the belts, and then she doesn't put anyone else over besides herself. To be a great wrestler, I think you need to be in a situation where you can put other people over while still, even when you lose. Like you look at, excuse me, you look at the LA Knight match with Jacob Fatu. LA Knight lost by pinfall to Jacob Fatu, but even though he lost, he's still over with the fans. The fans still love him. You look at Gunther. He lost the belt to Jey Uso very first match, but the fans still clamor for him because of just how great of an in-ring performer he is. Charlotte Flair gets booed because she just doesn't know how to put people over. Every match, every feud that she's in, it's always just, well, I'm a Flair and I'm the greatest, so respect me. And it's like, you can only do that so many times, Charlotte. Please.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Can you just get over yourself?
Exactly.
That was my feeling on the match. I was happy that Tiffany won. It's Tiffy time. I would not want anyone else winning. I wouldn't want Charlotte winning. If she did, I riot. So back to night 2 again. Io Sky, she won.
Yeah, totally.
Next match, it was Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. It was a Sin City street fight, Evan, which pretty much means it was a hardcore match. And it was brought to you by the new Doom game. Huzzah! You have Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, two guys who are just they're big guys, and they know how to put on good matches. Drew McIntyre, I think he is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. I think there's some guys that are out there across the whole world. I think Drew McIntyre is the top 5 guy. I think the way that he talks in the mic, the way that he can just convey a story to the crowd, his in-ring work, I think he is one of the best wrestlers out there. And I want him to soon get the belt. No funny stuff, no BS. I want him to go on like a year-long reign where he just goes up against guys like Gunther, guys like Roman Reigns, guys like Rollins, AJ Styles, all these top-tier wrestlers, and I want him to just keep winning, but clean wins. I don't want BS finishes. I want clean wins, and I want him to go on a year-long reign. I think he's deserved it. I think the way that he works in the ring, one of the best.
Well, I definitely got some catching up to do, so I'll do those too as part of my homework. But that sounds great. That sounds really promising.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have my account. Just go on there. So then they had the next match was Dominic Mysterio.
Or you do, but
Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. Zero y miedo. I probably butchered that.
That would have been a good one to watch. Wow. I should have done. Well, whatever. It was Easter. You can't blame me. It was Easter. Anyway. That was yeah.
Take that, Evan. But yeah,
Penta, another luchador, very impressive wrestler.
Yep. I love Penta. I've been watching him since Lucha Underground. If you have Netflix, Evan,
Cool.
Lucha Underground, there's 5 seasons. Watch it.
Oh, okay. I might check it out then because I do have Netflix.
Yep. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Yeah, he's in there. He's great. Finn Balor. This is another guy too. Same thing with Drew McIntyre. I know Finn Balor's up there in age. I'm actually gonna click and see what he is 43 years old. Finn Balor. You know, so he's 43. He's gonna turn 44 this year. Let the man go on a run. Let him do it one last time. He deserves it. Braun Breaker.
Sure.
I love Scott Steiner. Evan, do you know about Steiner math?
I do not. No.
Evan, you don't know Steiner math? I can't believe that you do not know Steiner
Pretty
math.
sure it doesn't
Evan.
ring a bell. No. I don't think so. No.
Evan, you're being a
I
real McCaskill
know.
right now.
I know Russian math and I know new math. I don't know what this other math is.
Evan, I don't care about that. I care about. Thank you very much. Now here we go.
Okay, Steiner math.
You know, they say all men are created equal,
wow.
but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best.
Seems about right.
25% at best, Evan. Jot that down. Jot that down.
Me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix.
Hold on.
Your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the 3-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3.
66 and 2/3.
Yeah, that's a lot of math. That is definitely a lot of math. I don't know if it adds up 100%, but that is math.
Evan,
that is math.
Stop it. That's Evan. Your textbooks. I'm not worried about your calculators on your phone. I'm worried about Steiner math, baby.
Chance of winning, because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even gonna try. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3.
141% chance, Evan, that he's winning.
Chance of winning at sacrifice.
Or percent, as he says it.
Yeah.
I think he mixed up percent and chance, and then he made up a new word called perchance.
Evan. 141%. The math is there. Stop being an asshole. But that is Braun Breaker's uncle.
Okay, well, 141% is not possible, but just saying. Anyway,
fuck you, Evan. That's Braun Breaker's uncle.
Just saying. Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
He had
okay.
He had 141%.
Maybe if he didn't wear a hat, he'd probably do math better.
That's not true. I think he does it better with it. But that's Braun Breaker's uncle, dude. So he had 141% chance to win back his Intercontinental Championship, but he ended up losing it to one Dominic Mysterio. And it's wrestling.
So you're saying that the math wasn't mathing. Is that right?
Evan, I'm saying you can't math. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, as I was saying.
Okay, well, I clearly can't math.
Yeah, you can't, Evan. It's 141% chance. What are you not understanding, jackass?
Clearly, I must be missing something. I don't know. 141 chance, but you still lose. I don't know.
Yeah, fucking douche canoe. Anyways,
maybe the 100% went out of off the boat, and then the 41% was left.
No,
and so then he lost most of the time.
Evan, you're fucking 41% in the cupboard. Okay, but back to the back.
He's staying there too.
Back to the math.
Yeah.
So no, back match. So Dominic, the thing I love about Dominic Mysterio is for the longest time, this guy could not talk on TV. He was getting booed so badly that he couldn't say a word on TV. And now he got the biggest pop of the night. He wins the belt. He's walking up the ramp with the belt. He runs back into the ring to go back up and raise the belt again. And he got the biggest pop of the night. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. It was fantastic stuff. Really great match.
That's great.
Oh boy.
Including in background while this is happening. Spot on.
Oh god. So next match, we have Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. I was not happy about this match. I'm not a big Logan Paul guy. I can say he does great stuff in the ring, but as an individual,
no,
I'll say like he's good in the ring,
like he's
but I just as a person,
YouTuber,
I don't want to support him.
Yeah, he's a poser YouTuber. He and his brother Jake are so full of themselves. I mean, they basically come from like they do come from money. I mean, like nobody wants to admit it because they want to say, "Oh, we're from Ohio," but they did come from money. Like let's be totally real about that, okay? So, like Logan Paul was the worst part of WrestleMania. So I have no doubt that he was the worst part of this night of WrestleMania. Did I say WrestleMania? Royal Rumble. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, whatever. I'm glad I did not see that fight because I would have cared. I couldn't have cared less or more or whatever.
Yeah, I tend to go ahead, and if it's Logan Paul, I tend to just clock out. I don't support him. There's been a lot of things that he's been involved in. There's been a lot of things that he has said and done that don't sit right with me. So I try to avoid it. So
yeah,
I did watch this match though. Again, he's a great in-ring talent. I can't take away from what's there on the screen. And I try to be unbiased when I rate these things. He's great in the ring. AJ Styles, you know what you're going to get with AJ Styles. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. If I made a Mount Rushmore, my Mount Rushmore would be Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, and CM Punk. It'd be those four guys. Because of everything that they've done. And AJ Styles, I just think that everything he does, playing on his tag, it's phenomenal. And that's just what he is. He's one of the best wrestlers to ever do it. But I just didn't understand, I know with Logan, he's a big draw, but AJ Styles he's already said he doesn't want to wrestle into his 50s. He said when he turns 50, he's done. He turns 48 June 2nd. So he only has two more WrestleManias left in him. So I just didn't like the fact if this was let's say he was next year he's going to be 48, the year after he's going to be 49. So he has two more WrestleManias in him. WrestleMania, 2 years from now. He's 49 years old. It's his last one. If he was to go ahead and to go up against, I don't know, someone who was, if he was to go up against someone that is an up and coming talent and he lost to them, someone who would be full-time wrestler, I would understand that. It's his last match ever. Put someone over. Let the future generation, be great. Instead, he lost to Logan Paul, and I didn't care for that. I wasn't happy about that. I just feel like with AJ Styles, I felt like he should have won this one, the next one. He deserves that. And then he loses the next one while putting someone else over. And I mean, really put someone over. Like, I'm trying to think who's someone here like that can use it. I would have to look at the roster and check out people, but if there's someone that's an up and coming talent, put them over. Maybe like a guy like Braun Breaker. He's young. Yeah. He's in his 20s. If he had a match with AJ Styles, like that would be huge. And
Braun Breaker is in his 20s?
Yeah, he's 27. But
you're kidding.
No, I'm being 100%.
What? No way. Okay, hold on. I gotta look this up. There's what?
Yeah.
That dude, that's insane. That's insane. He looks like he's 37. That's insane.
But
wow.
yeah, I wasn't.
Dude. He's been eating his Wheaties. God damn.
I wasn't a big fan of the match, and I wasn't a big fan of the match ending. But I will say it did lead to a really good. It did lead to a really good promo from Killer Cross, which I'm going to pull it up here now, Evan. This is Killer Cross or Karrion Kross. He's a wrestler, WWE, and this was a promo that he cut after AJ Styles lost.
Let's talk about how awesome it is that Logan Paul just won. And let's talk about, Sam, let's talk about what Logan Paul represents. The shortcut. Feels so good to be here. Feels so good to be in the business. Thinking about all of the funerals that I wasn't able to attend for the last 11 years in this business, all of the holidays I missed. I could have just started a YouTube channel, could have just jumped in there with AJ Styles. Feels really good, right? It's awesome. It's really good.
Do you guys know we have 25 years combined experience, and what are we doing on Mania?
Well, they know because they're normal human beings, and they actually love professional wrestling. But apparently that doesn't mean shit anymore. That doesn't mean shit. All I asked Alan to do.
First off, I love the passion. I love the energy behind it. Alan is also AJ Styles' first name, his real name. And I just love the passion behind Killer Cross. I want more of this.
Was for once to not think about just himself. Think about everybody in the back and think about the professional wrestling fans. That's all I wanted him to do. Sometimes to do the right thing, you have to do the wrong thing. But he's a narcissist and he had to do it his way. Hey, Alan, how many more WrestleManias do you have in your system? Probably, I don't know, one. Maybe this is the last one. And you just pissed that away. For what? For what? For your way? Thanks a lot, bud.
Again, the energy behind this, I love it.
I really appreciate it. You want to know what the best advice I ever got? It was from Bill Goldberg. 2021, back when I was in the Twilight Zone, you know what I mean? I'm wrestling for gasoline. It was awesome. Let me tell you all about it. Bill goes, hey, Cross, you know what? You remind me a lot of me. I go, I think we have different styles, Bill, but I really appreciate that. Do you have any advice for me? He goes, you know what? You just got to be a good soldier. A good soldier is what he said. So I decided to be a good soldier. You know what happened? They released me.
And he's talking about when he actually got released by WWE. They released him from his contract, and they said, we wish you well in all your future endeavors.
Then I come back. You know what being a good soldier gets you, everybody here? Just so in case you're wondering, you want the back scoop here. Being a good soldier gets your times cut. Being a good soldier means that people come up to you and say, hey, you got any great ideas? Yeah, here it is from Scarlet. No. That's a little too great. We're looking just for good ideas. That's for those guys over there. That's what being a good soldier is, okay? Being a good soldier is coming to your hometown where you cut your teeth, where you got started, and not being on the card. It's all about viral moments now. That's what it's all about, viral moments. Well, Guy, everybody's been telling me that I got to become undeniable. And as soon as it happens, they ignore it and they shut it down. I never asked to wrestle Randy.
That, again, chef's kiss. And I hope we get more from Killer Cross. I want more from Killer Cross.
I never asked. That happened organically, and you ignored it for a viral moment. And good on Joe. Nothing against him. But you ignored it. And the crowd told you exactly how they felt about me on SmackDown when I was eliminated. And you ignored it. Become undeniable. My ass. My ass. You want a viral moment? On behalf of all of the true fans of professional wrestling, Guy with the suit and tie in the truck, go fuck yourself. That's from Killer Cross. No. Fuck it.
Oh, wow. So, I want to just
go fuck
really
yourself,
quickly
Evan.
say, first of all, go fuck yourself to Logan Paul. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, number one. However, Killer Lord, he has got the juice. He's got the sauce. I think you know at this point, Mitchell, I have to pull up some level of education to, sprinkle some intellectual goodness on the people, because I want to just point out super quick that there is 3 communication modes of persuasion. Okay, now this is about rhetoric and about expressing yourself. So there's ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay, so they're similar, but there's some major differences. Now, I think that what Killer Cross has, he's got a lot going on. He actually you could argue that he falls into each of the 3 categories. What he does best, however, is appealing to emotion. That's pathos. It's creating a narrative around how you feel, how you see the world, and try to connect with the audience in such a way where there's a sort of a give and take. And I think that how he is able to engage his words and engage his feelings, he does an excellent job of threading the needle and just ripping the shit out of Logan Paul and the whole thing about viral moments and all of that. He does such a great job. Now, just quickly, logos is about logic. Ethos is mostly just about appealing to credibility. But when you combine each of the 3, you get a beautiful, communication style that a lot of people, I just think, don't have.
Mm-hmm.
It's you have to be very talented in order to achieve all 3 of them to some level of degree. I think Killer Cross, he has got it down spot on. Even people like Macho Man Randy Savage, Rowdy Roddy Piper, even Hulk Hogan, they are able to create a communication style that connects with the audience, connects with who they're talking to, and it gives them that level of credibility. It gives them that level of passion and emotion, and the audience follows along with them. So I just thought that he was a baller. He was a total baller. And I agree with you. You give him more shit. Give him more shit to do. He's a talent. There's no question.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So yeah, I mean, again, AJ Styles, I think he's great. I didn't like that he lost to Logan Paul, but still a good match. Next, we have the second to last match, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I said earlier, Liv Morgan, she's one of the more popular, one of the more talented members of the roster. She has come a very long way from being the groupie that jumped over the railing to kiss Tyler Breeze, who was an old old wrestler back in NXT. So she has come a very long way from being, the crazy groupie for another wrestler. Now she has been a world champion, tag team champion, and she's one of the most highly recognizable wrestlers in WWE currently. So crazy to see the glow up. I remember seeing her when she was on NXT, and she was doing just matches where she was just getting the shit kicked out of her, and it was done 1, 2, 3. They're called squash matches, and that's what she was doing. She would go in there, she'd get a couple hits in, then she gets squashed. So to see her now being in this stage where she's at, crazy to see. But in the match, Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch hasn't been seen for over a year now, or about a year now, and to see her come back, it was great to see. And her and Lyra work really well with each other. They've had matches where they faced off against each other. Lyra actually beat Becky Lynch to become the NXT Women's Champion, and now they're going into a feud now where they're facing off against each other, or they already did because they just had Backlash, another WWE pay-per-view event, and Lyra Valkyria won. So just every time they're in the ring together, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, it always seems to go really well. They do a really good job together. But yeah, again, overall, Thought it was a great match. Love what Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch can do in the ring, as well as Liv Morgan, Raquel. Raquel, I forgot, I didn't talk about her, actually. I want to mention one thing. I think she is, I think she's an unsung hero in that women's division. I think she deserves a little bit more credit. She always has a great, entertaining match, and I hope that once the Judgment Day, once that whole thing is squared away, and then she gets away from Liv Morgan, I would like for Raquel Rodriguez to go and have a singles run that I think that she deserves in the WWE. I think everyone deserves a singles run at one point in time. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah. Now to the main event. John Cena. Juan Cena
and I will speak
Cody
to
Rhodes.
this part. Yes, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah,
you go first, Evan.
Jinx. So, John Cena, who recently turned heel, he's wearing all black. He's got his little attitude, but it's also a callback to when he started, because he was a villain, and then he was a good guy for most of his career, and then he went back to being a bad guy because he kicked Cody Rhodes in the dick. And then Cody Rhodes, and there's a whole ordeal. It was a great fight, I gotta say. It was a really, really good fight. Now, I think it was pretty obvious that John Cena was going to win, especially because this was his last WrestleMania. He's about to retire. He's going to do a little bit more promotion for himself before he retires. That was evident. What was really interesting about the event was that Travis Scott, a rapper and a huge wrestling fan, I guess, he just comes out. And then he hits Cody Rhodes with a chair, and then I think Cody Rhodes throws him out of the ring. He just literally and that was kind of funny. But yeah, it was a little random, but it was it was interesting. It's kind of cool. Mitchell, I don't know if you can speak to Travis Scott, but I know you told me he's a wrestling fan, so that makes sense. But I just thought his inclusion was a little random, especially for this really high-profile fight. Regardless, though, great fight, really good, very dramatic. Sometimes they would do the 1, 2, and then and then they would sit back up, and they did that a couple different times. And okay, whatever, sure. Really, really great final match for the night, even if I didn't watch most of the night too.
Yeah, Travis Scott, he is a wrestling fan, and I know that he has been working because he wants to do some in-ring competition stuff. So I think that they are going to, at some point in time, try to get him in the ring. And I know that they want to do it soon with John Cena.
Oh, wow.
So they're working to try to go ahead and get that going.
Oh,
wow. But yeah, this match was absolutely incredible. You had everything from
really good.
Yeah, with everything that's happened recently, again, he got kicked in the nuts and everything, and John Cena's heel turn. No one was expecting this. No one was expecting John Cena. I thought honestly that he was I thought he would win something, and then he would go ahead and somehow. I thought he was going to win the belt. Okay, I'll just put it like that. I thought he would win the belt. Right. I didn't think that he was going to turn heel. I didn't expect that. I'll be honest with you. I thought that he was going to be, the usual Cena. Yep. He was going to win the belt, and I thought that he would do something where he was going to do a good guy thing, and he would put over the next big baby face. Let me think. Who's someone? Maybe he loses the belt at a smaller pay-per-view to LA Knight, and LA Knight holds the belt for 3 months, and then he loses it to someone else, or even a Jacob Fatu or a Jey Uso, just someone. He loses it to someone, and when they win the belt, they hold it for a little bit of time and they give it to someone else, or he loses it again to a nice up-and-coming superstar, an up-and-coming baby face, someone who's all positive, always smiling, always being the nice guy, and then he loses the belt to that person. So then they can go ahead and be the next face that runs the place. That's what I was thinking. But I was wrong. And John Cena turns heel. He's a bad guy, and he's trying to win, and he's trying to retire with the belt because he's the last true champion. Excuse me. But this match was good stuff. And Travis Scott came out. He got hit by Cody Rhodes at one point, which I liked.
Yep.
I thought there was going to be more interferences, which I don't like when there is a lot of them. So just to have Travis Scott, I said, good, just one. It's not like The Rock comes out 2 or 20 other people. I like that it was just Travis Scott, and that was it. And John Cena, he got the win in the end, and he broke Ric Flair's record. And, for everything that John Cena has done, he's always been a very stand-up guy. Has always said, like he said, after this year, he's done. He's not coming back to wrestling. And there's a lot of people in the wrestling industry. They're like, if you know John and he says that, he means it. Like he's not going to play with people's heartstrings like that. He's not going to say, oh, I'm done. That's it. And then be like, well, I'm going to come back. And no, like if he says that, it means he's really done. And he said before, like he doesn't want to be in his 50s wrestling either. And he's 48 right now. Like he's there. And so for him to say, like, he said years ago, I don't want to be wrestling in my 50s. Like he said that years ago. And he says if he's not going to be like full time, then he doesn't want to be a part-time guy to take the shine from other people. And I respect that too. It's a great thing for him to say, like, I don't want to just show up for the big moments and say, oh, here I am, and then leave, which again, I respect that. But yeah, I'm happy for John Cena that he finally got his 17th WWE World Championship. And he just had his match with Randy Orton at Backlash, another great match too. I look forward to seeing who else he faces for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And obviously he's doing movies. He's a peacemaker in the DCU, and so he's got that giant silver helmet money now. It doesn't need WWE. But no, I think it's great. I think he's really carving his own path, doing his own thing, doing it on his terms. Shit talking, 11, 12-year-olds in the ring. He's doing it all.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really happy for John Cena. Massachusetts represent. He's from Newbury originally. But yeah, no, but yeah, no, I think that just about wraps it up.
Yep, that's everything.
That is the conclusion of our overtime coverage of WrestleMania. Wait, sorry, what? Oh, okay. I thought you said something. So we are about to leave before.
Oh, now you're cutting out. You cut out.
Ring the bell. You gotta punch a donkey.
You cut out the whole thing.
Oh well, we're gonna keep going. Oh God! Wait, do we start? Wait, maybe try to cut this out. Well, maybe we start over. Should we start over?
No, just do it again. Leave it in.
We'll cut it. All right. We'll leave it. All right, we'll leave it. All right, so if you are on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. You got to ring that bell. You got to punch that donkey. You got to hit the baby in the face. You got to do a somersault with a lot of butt stuff, like with Gunther. Okay, you got to do all the things. If you are listening on audio versions, follow us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, Internet Uncapped. Until next time, we will leave you with this royalty-free song. Until then, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.